We live in extraordinary times. Now there are 60 million people across the world who have been displaced by war, by conflict, by poverty. The tide of indifference has turned into a flood of compassion and solidarity and an outpouring of desire to do something. From Syria, who's going to talk a little bit about why this matters, and I know there's many people from the Syrian community in the crowd, and I really want to welcome you all here today as well.
I would like to thank everybody. Give a Syrian a smile or a word or a flower or a hug. Actually, that's really make difference in this situation. When you see the father carry his children when he's died, like this man, you can imagine what's the feeling there. You can imagine how much pressure on that man. You can imagine how much pressure on that man who loses his 2 children and his wife, you know, in the sea, in the 21st of century, and the time which the civilization is now on the top of the civilization in the history. What happened there is a really test and exam for this civilization and this humanity. I would like to ask everybody who could help, even a word, the sound, even if you share a story in your Facebook, that will be help, and that will be really a good exam for your humanity.
My name is Peter Kifle. Originally, I'm from Eritrea. Eritrea is a very small country in the eastern part of Africa along Red Sea coastline. The regime is one of the most repressive and totalitarian in the world, and my country is one of the most dangerous countries to live in it. Some of the basic human rights violations is the indefinite or endless military service. There is no freedom of belief. There is no freedom of movement. There is no freedom of speech. And if you try to flee from the country, there is a policy, shoot to kill policy. So the border guards have right to kill you. As the consequence of it, Eritreans are one of the largest group of migrants in Europe and elsewhere. I left my beloved country, Eritrea, in 2002 by crossing the border to Ethiopia. Since then, I have never gone back. I have never gone back home because the situation is the same. But I miss my people. I miss friends. Even I miss the soil, the stones, and the trees of my home country. When I was in Ethiopia as a refugee, again life was so hard because the refugee camp was in jungle. We requested to the authority to improve the refugees' condition. It wasn't a big demand, but things like security and basic facilities. But we didn't get any positive answer. Then I was one of the first people who left the camp and made my way to Sudan. When I go to Sudan, I faced the same situation. After that, I have decided to come to Europe via Sahara Desert and crossing the Mediterranean Sea. But if my homeland was safe to live, I wouldn't risk my life all the way Sahara Desert and Mediterranean Sea. And again, if the life in the refugee camp was improved, I wouldn't come to Europe. So my message to all who may concern this issue, try to solve the problem from its root, where the issue originates. Try to improve the basic needs and facility in the refugee camps. There should be a proper refugee resettlement program, and put pressure on the UNHCR for its mismanagement in all refugee camps over the world. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you, Peter. And I think your reminder to address the root causes of why all of this happens cannot be overstated. And I thank you for reminding of that.